The first ancient civilization we learned about was the early human civilization. Their success was inventing tools that aided them to hunt. Their struggles was mainly struggles with nature. Their legacy was the making and usage of tools that helped humans even to this time period.
Much of the Egyptians' success was because of the Nile River. The Nile River not only allowed advances in transportation and communication, but provided natural boundaries which protected the Egyptians. The Nile had gradual and predictable flooding, but the flood created rich soil at the riverbanks, which became known as the Black Land. The Code of Hammurabi was a collection of 282 laws. The punishments usually varied by social class. Although some Egyptians would disagree, we believe that the Code of Laws became less of a success and more of a struggle due to all of the brutal punishments that occurred. Although the Egyptians provided many advancements in engineering and thinking, one of their strongest legacies was the creation of hieroglyphs. Hieroglyphs were not only used for communicating, but they were used to write down prayers, magical texts, and texts related to life after death and worshiping the gods. These texts were important to Egyptians because they believed that they helped guide the dead through the afterlife.
Another ancient civilization we learned about was ancient India. Their successes were advancements in education, like the Sanskrit, math, medicine, and surgery. Ancient India's main struggle was the caste system. People were put in social groups based on their family history, and people couldn't prove themselves any better than the caste they were put in. The legacy of ancient India was the creation, practice, and spread of Hinduism and Buddhism.
The Chinese were very successful during the Zhou dynasty due to advancements in agriculture. They built canals and created iron plows, which resulted in more land, greater production, and an increase in population by 50 million. Although they were important to food production, Chinese peasants struggled with the harsh conditions they had to work in the fields. Also, about 2 to 3 million Chinese peasants died during the production of the Great Wall of China. Although many peasants were sacrificed during the making, the Great Wall was one of the greatest legacies in China's history, and it stands for an unbeatable power despite all its bitter conditions.
Ancient Greece had many successes during the Dark Ages. Advancements of iron weapons and tools, the creation of an alphabet, the work of Homer and his creation of the Iliad. Ancient Greece also faced many struggles during the Dark Ages. Earthquakes led to the collapse of Mayacian civilization, internal struggles along with food drop and population. The legacy of ancient Greece were advancements of science in the Hellenistic world. The great thinkers achieved the value of pi, determined the earth was round, calculated the earth's circumference, and developed the theory that the sun is at the center of the universe.
One of Rome's great successes was the creation of the 12 Tables. It was a written law code to protect all free citizens. It was carved onto 12 stone tablets and hung at the Forum. One of Rome's main struggles was the uncertainty of why their civilization really fell. The only thing they do know for sure is that the shortage of men along the western side of Rome made them weak to invasion. One of Rome's greatest legacies was the spread of Christianity. Within 60 days of Jesus' resurrection, there had already been approximately 10,000 converts. Theodosius the Great later made Christianity the official religion of the Roman Empire.
The success of ancient Islam was the golden age of learning, where they had advancements in medicine, math, surgery, and mental illness. The struggle that Islam faced was when the French colonized and wouldn't let them use their language or culture. The legacy of Islam was the creation of the Quran and the celebration of the holy month Ramadan, which is still celebrated by millions of people today.
The Incan civilization was successful due to the 25,000-mile road that they built that could have information traveling up to 140 miles a day. Their struggle was the occurrence of smallpox, which killed many people and led to the downfall of the civilization. And one of their legacies was the creation of the solar and sacred calendar.
The Indian Ocean Trade Network succeeded in the formation of states and increased trade production in silk, porcelain, and other goods. The struggle Southeast Asia faced was the mountain ranges that kept people isolated, which led to slow development. The legacy was the overall success of the Indian Ocean Trade Network.
The Mongols' success was developing their own efficient trade along the Silk Road. The Mongols began to struggle after Genghis Khan's death. The empire began to split due to wars over succession. By 1294, the Mongol Empire had split into 4 separate empires. Their legacy is conquering the most land of any civilization.